Today we are going to go over the Helena Crevar vs Amanda Nicole match at Polaris 37. We're going to skip the first few minutes of the match to get straight to the action, but up until now, Helena pulls guard, Amanda is trying to pass, and eventually we get into this situation where Helena has closed guard. Now we're almost at the 3-minute mark, and we see something that we haven't really covered much on this channel, but Helena starts going for the rubber guard. If you're not familiar with the position, it can be a very tricky situation if you're not used to it, and there are definitely a lot of options and setups from here. And one of the advantages of rubber guard is being able to keep your opponent's posture broken. Amanda is trying to fight that by posturing herself to avoid any sort of offense from here. But to be able to do that, you'll notice that she's posting with her right foot to the mat. While that does allow her to get a better posture, notice how her left knee is still on the mat, and Helena is starting to get some height with her hips, and she also has her right elbow posted to the mat, which is going to help her in a second. So as soon as Helena feels like she's in a good enough position, she lets go of the rubber guard and transfers that left arm behind Amanda's left tricep. Now all she has to do from here is bump her hips, and then she has no other choice but to roll over. And initially Amanda does a really good job of getting to her knees, looking to try to stop Helena from getting on top, but Helena has this very subtle but very good angle with her hips where she's able to continue rotating her hips to the point where there's just too much pressure for Amanda to be able to stay in turtle position, and then eventually she collapses and Helena ends up on top. So now we're in 3/4 mount. You can see that Helena is trying to dig under Amanda's left elbow from here and trying to elevate it above her own head. And she wants to be able to do this so Amanda isn't going to be able to elbow knee escape, and that's also going to allow her to get straight into mount as well. But that is much easier said than done. Amanda is doing a really good job of keeping her elbows tight, making sure to recover the position when it starts getting bad. You can see that Helena is getting a little bit frustrated here after being stuck here for a minute and a half and not being able to elevate that elbow. She starts going for a crossface, thinking that maybe she needs a different angle to attack, and then starts going back under the elbow. But eventually we get to this point where Amanda is able to make that elbow knee connection from here. It looks like she's trying to get into a proper half guard from here, but when she turns her hips down, Helena does a great job of being able to take her leg out and get under Amanda, because at this point Amanda's hips are too high from here. So in this frame here, Helena is able to take out her right leg, scoop it under Amanda's left leg, which was originally supposed to be in between Amanda's legs at this point to get into half guard. But now Amanda is officially stuck in Helena's full mount from here. Now from full mount, Helena does a really good job of getting under that elbow again, and this time she has much more torque compared to what she had earlier. And now that elbow is starting to get really high from here. Obviously this is a horrible position to be in, so Amanda takes a risk and starts putting her arm in a underhook position, which is extremely dangerous from here because now her left arm is very vulnerable and isolated. Helena starts to see blood from here, and immediately she starts going for that Kimura grip to transitioning into a full Kimura attack from here. And you can see this frame here that the hand is clearly behind the back, and that usually means it's going to be game over from here. Amanda does a last ditch effort to defend by doing a forward roll. Helena continues to follow her, and after a few rolls, they both end up in out of bounds. They both go back to the center to restart, but it is the end of round 1 right now. So Amanda definitely benefited from going out of bounds and surviving the first round, but if Helena was able to continue that transition, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind she would have gotten the Kimura from there. So before we get to round 2, I just want to quickly remind you that these videos do take a long time to make, and if you do want to support the channel, I would really appreciate it if you went to xmartial.com and use my code JJB at checkout. You're going to get an extra 50% off anything off the website, and it would really mean a lot if you use my code. Personally, some of my favorite designs that are out right now is currently this Aztec BJJ rash guard that looks absolutely sick, and this new Senkaku rash guard looks really cool as well. So again, during checkout, use code JJB, really appreciate it. Now back to the breakdown. So now we're at the start of round 2. Helena does pull guard and she is able to get this grip on Amanda's right ankle from here. It probably would have been better for Amanda to be able to just get rid of that grip and run straight back to reset. But she panics a little bit, and when she does fall to the ground, her first instinct is to go into bottom open guard position, and that allows Helena to start working her top pressure again. For a little while, we do see that Amanda is defending against Helena's guard passing, and then we get to this position at almost the 4-minute mark, where Amanda is very deep on her right shoulder. This is interesting because Helena has her left arm pretty extended out from here, which does make it a vulnerability. Amanda recognizes this and she's able to suck in that arm with this tricep grip, but that does set up a trap from Amanda because she is able to bring that left leg around the arm and back, and that allows her to lock up a reverse triangle from here. It was a decent attempt to lock up the triangle, but a reverse triangle in this position does not have a lot of leverage. Helena does something that's actually very smart and brings her weight forward, and in this frame here you can kind of tell that Amanda doesn't really have any leverage from here. Helena just has to be smart, make micro movements, and then she is eventually able to get her head out and end up in north-south position. Now from here, it's pretty obvious that Amanda would be in much better position to get her open guard back. So she does a good job of being able to frame on Helena's hips. That creates enough space to be able to get her left knee in between her and Helena. But the biggest problem that she's currently having right now is that Helena is burying her head on her body, and she also has this reverse collar tie on Amanda's head. Because Helena's head is so low, it's almost impossible for Amanda to retain her guard from here because she wants her right leg on the other side of Helena's head. So because of those two factors, it looks like Helena is extremely close to being able to pass again. And if we stop the match here, it looks like Helena is in a great position. Her arms are on the inside, she's in north-south, and it looks like she's going to be able to pass any second from here. But Amanda does something very interesting. While Helena's right arm is trying to dig in deeper so she can sink her hips down, you can see that her right elbow is a little bit flared out. Amanda is able to use that elbow positioning to hook behind the elbow, and with her legs and hips, she's able to rock herself up, almost flips over Helena, and creates a scramble situation. But the scramble is very short-lived because Helena is able to put that pressure back on Amanda, get around the legs, and now she's in a great position to start taking the back from there. But we need to see a replay of that transition of how all of that happened. So like I said, Amanda was able to create a scramble situation, and in this frame here, Amanda has two options. She can either go flat on her back into an open guard and start fighting from there, but I think she realizes that Helena is really good at passing her guard, and she needs to take a risk right now and try to get back on top. So instead, she does more of a technical stand-up move to try to gain height and get back to her feet. Helena has really good instincts because she notices that Amanda's left elbow is high in this position, and so she's able to get her head behind that elbow, start putting pressure on Amanda, and she's able to switch her hips to get around Amanda's legs, and now this puts her in a really good position from here. She's basically in side control, but instead of Amanda facing her hips towards Helena, she starts facing away from her, getting towards turtle, and that's when Helena starts attacking the back. So with the seatbelt grip, Helena is able to slip in that hook on her right hand side, and when she grabs that, she's able to work on that hook on her left hand side, which she's able to get as well. Now that she has both hooks in, notice that she transitions from the underhook on her left side to the overhook, and now that both arms are over the shoulders, you can tell that Helena is in a very offensive position from here. She is trying to dig her hands under Amanda's head from here, and once she's able to do that, that's when she starts putting an immense amount of hip pressure down to start flattening her out. Once she's flattened out, that's usually the best opportunity to start going under the chin from here, which Helena does with her right arm, and then initially she goes palm to palm, and then transitions to a traditional rear naked choke from here with the rest behind the head, and then she's able to get the tap. So realistically, if the match was about a minute or two longer in the first round, Helena probably would have gotten that Kimura on Amanda. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. In round 2, Helena was able to get the upper hand again. Amanda had a few moments here and there, but nothing that looked like it was a legitimate threat. Helena was able to continue to put on the pressure, systematically break her down, and eventually get the finish. Another great match from the Danaher protege, only 19 years old, and she is absolutely destroying the competition out there. So I can't wait to see how she looks when she's in her prime. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown, and I will see you in the next video.